this isn't a gotcha. I'm just trying to point out something that I think makes this more difficult. When you say everything has been politicized, yes, but it's difficult in my mind to call that, like, you even politicized your response to then say that, you know, things are too politicized. I think when some of the institutions that were relied on for a long time they don't keep up with the needs that they're meant to meet, and people want to see change. They want to see that change. I don't know that people always have the correct solution, and you know that takes time. But when there's trouble, it's meant to be politicized. Now I get it. You don't want that to mean that people cannot be friendly with one another. But let's just take the example of you saying, I blame the states that have taken resources. I can appreciate that, and I even think I could defend it, but I could also defend someone who would argue with that and say that, you know, socializing a child should not be the state's responsibility, and I mean the government, whether we're talking about a state or the federal government. And I think that it would be fair for people to have that conversation, or even to feel that way. Maybe they would be incorrect. Maybe they would be correct. I don't know. That's where the conversation goes. But how far are you from thinking that even though you blame the states that take resources and don't socialize children, how far away are you from being able to say, like, that's my point of view, but I think it's fair for someone to not think that should be the job of the government?
It's interesting you say that, because everyone's got an idea of a problem they want to solve. The first thing that they talk about is the government's role in it, rather than even asking the question of, like, what is the government's role in this? So it's just, I don't know, it's gotten bizarre to me. We should focus our attention locally, in my opinion.
So what I was referring to is, unfortunately, there are localities, probably not where you live, Mojo, but there are localities in the United States that don't have substantial resources and rely, unfortunately, on U.S. federally allocated taxpayer dollars. And those are the communities that are feeling like they've been dismissed, they're the flyover territory, etc. And we're seeing, like, the consequences arise. And
but that's been a 50-year, 100-year freaking fight. Like, the flyover countries, the Rust Belt, have been complaining for fucking a century. I mean, since the 70s. Like, that's not a new argument. That was something that was actually held by, like, I would say, one side of the political aisle much more vociferously. Not that they did as much as they promised, nowhere near what they promised, but they used to be that champion for that. And now to hear it come from another political faction, it comes across as hollow, because, remember, they just cling too tightly to their Bibles and guns.
But I think you've actually just, like, illustrated my point, which is that I think there is, like, a centrist argument, or many people would probably just say, yes, we want children to be educated, we want them to be obedient, we want them to behave appropriately and socialize them into the world. I don't think anything that I'm saying should be controversial, but we're politicizing it because it's me who is saying it rather than you.
That's actually untrue. I don't know, unless you're speaking specifically, Brad, but even, I don't know why you would assume that someone politicized it because you, Dismal, made this statement. I was very clear and tried to even speak slowly